Such a thing as too late. If he goes down 2-0, we've seen what happens to people and the kinds of legend swaps that they may have. Everybody, game one, elimination side. Whoever loses this game gets completely knocked out of the event. MegD on the Val, Use on the Fate, and already picking up the orb. MegD playing nice and slow, playing out of the corner. Use able to catch the jump with the side.
A lot of respect initially in this game. They both know what they are capable of, and they both know exactly what they have in store. Use also infamously one of the players in this tournament that has been playing very, very patiently. MegD knows exactly what it needs to do to beat him.
So MegD is doing the thing that I forgot who it was I talked about this with. It was either Paulo or Godly, please forgive me. But he is dash jumping over and over again. And so how do you counter that, especially when you have orb? The answer is D-Light. Make MegD uncomfortable for this. Dash jumping like that, it can be amazing to be able to, put yourself in a position to get somebody to whiff. But if you can anti-air them, it'll be amazing. That being said, look at that lovely string from MegD.
I mean, we talk a lot about reads. We talk about soft reads here on the stream, especially whenever we have a string weapon on the screen. But whenever you have these kinds of games, what do you need to go for? You need to go for movement reads. You need to go for soft movement reads throughout those D-Lights so that MegD knows which options he's going to have to be a little bit more careful with using.
I can't believe that MegD did get hit by that end light as well. Use wanted to cover the weapon. He had the right idea, but MegD just spaced himself so well, picked it up, and now Sword on hand. How does he land against Orb? Use missing the side light. That would have, of course, comboed into the sider. That is the way that Orb KOs. Either the jump call out with sider or side light sider.
Or sideline neutral signature, apparently. Use has been using that a lot throughout this weekend and showing us that it has great use. MegD, though, showing the great use of the standard D-Light recovery combo on the Sword, picking up the first stock in this set.
And now you have a stock lead, and you know what that means? You can go ahead and play back. Use, though, picking up the scythe. Okay, looking to catch a landing with a side light. MegD is just making the most use out of this engine. He is playing floaty. He's just waiting to see what Use does. But look at that anti-air. That was amazing.
Using the neutral signature to make sure to stop him from landing there. A lot of these landing callouts are probably going to be very important moving further into the set here. Picking up the end light, able to get the Sair as well. MegD able to kind of stop some of that momentum with a weapon throw. Actually scratch that. Use is going to keep on this weapon starve, and MegD cannot get in. He can't get a weapon either. All the way down in red already. Is Use going to be able to get a knockout?
He just said, hey, you're gonna keep jumping in? That's cool. I have Scythe. I'm gonna end light you again and again and again. Back it off with that end light, picking up the orb. This is how you get you consistent KOs. Can I get a side light? No, but we can get an end light as well. It puts you off stage. You whip that end sig. MegD gets back on, whiffs an end light of his own, and he is still somehow not hanging on to the stock. That's what I was gonna say the whole time.
I didn't even realize a neutral signature on the orb is such an amazing tool against MegD whenever he's dash jumping right above you. You have a large hitbox, it's hard to punish.
It's fast.
If they are also in the air, it can be kind of tricky to get the punish in. Use has a toolkit to dismantle MegD's techniques right now, but MegD's techniques just seem to be a little bit too strong. It gets that read, goes for a second one, gets a true combo off of it too.
Backs off a little bit here. Use just going to be looking for another end light, looking to catch a landing with a side light, but MegD has established again and again that he is going to delay his landings as much as possible. He is not getting hit by any side lights. Use backing up a little bit, jumping into an end light of MegD's own. He's opting to play a little bit more grounded, gets the neutral, missing the side light. Good punish with the orb D-Light.
D-Light, very nice to try, and again condition out some of that diagonal movement that MegD is using a lot of. Trying to catch the landing, unable to do so. MegD using a dare to land safely. Able to get back with a Sair as well if he gets this knockout, but the dare hits hard, and the unarmed dare to follow it up. MegD is unable to get back up. That's a 2-stock to begin our set here in the first round of eliminations bracket. Use is going to be taking it on MegD.
And normally Val signatures, I mean, they're quick. They are a little bit committal because of the fact that they put you off stage, but they're so fast, and typically people forget about them, at least in a game one against Val. Not Use, though. He was in the best possible position to avoid it, and he got the best possible punish with the downer as well. He knew the space that it would cover, and he did not just get back onto the stage, but he won the game because of it.
And I mean, we're also on Demon Island. Like, Use would not be playing Demon Island if he was uncomfortable punishing side-sig off of Sword Val, right? That's one of the best maps for Val for that reason, because you can cover such a large portion of the wall. In general, just maps with small walls, but either way, Use able to pick up that landing again. We've been talking about these catches that he's been getting off of the landings. That's where he picks up a lot of this chip damage.
Sidelight Sido comes out, putting MegD off stage, catching him, overextending with the Sido, and now Use backs off once again. Right now, it is MegD alternating between grounded and floaty gameplay, and Use is just trying his best to catch onto his tempo.
Able to pick up yet again the landing with the sidelights there. Able to pick up the attempt to get back as well. Ooh. The dare. Use is using it, and there it is. The initial lead, and I believe it, forgive me if I'm wrong, MegD got the initial lead last game around, so it looks like, you know, whichever train Use started in that first game, it hasn't stopped yet.
Look at these neutralizers. Use is jumping and preemptively putting himself into a position. He said, enough, stop it. You want to dash it on the ground? Sidelight Sido, stop landing on me with those downers, man. He is now the one that is kind of confidently dominating the pace of this game.
His spacing is so good, and MegD can't figure out how to get these landings. Every single time, MegD loves to play super floaty, but every single time he touches that ground, Use is able to picking up with yet another sidelights there.
He gets that down, but MegD didn't get much else off of it. He's slowing it down. Use is saying, okay, you're going to be the one to approach me. He's holding his ground here. He knows to respect that end light. MegD gets a huge opening. How does he get this edge guard now? He's being nice and patient. He jumps out there, seeing what Use is going to do. Use, okay, falls into that end light.
I mean, they know that Use doesn't have to do anything. Gets that dare off, though. I was almost expecting a large call out. He knew that that side sig was going out. He was just baiting it out at that point. What an amazing offstage interaction from Use. Masterfully played.
Yeah, he's getting outplayed. I think I'm going to say it right now. I think Use is pretty heavily outplaying MegD. He seems so confident off stage. He seems so confident in neutral. He's not getting hit by any of these, and MegD, at least he didn't get punished for it that time.
And the recovery hits as well. The exhausted version gives him the chase dodge, and Light finally able to pick up that knockout. But MegD already fallen so far behind. He's gonna need he's either gonna need to start winning neutral consistently, which has proven to be almost impossible against Use, or he's gonna
just start winning.
He might, yeah, basically. I mean, he's gonna need a large read or something to get started here. Which then again, we have seen MegD time and time again, not only in this set but also yesterday. He's able to pick up these reads and quickly turn around the game. Silent recovery though, sorry, end light recovery, going to be taking that stock off.
Can't believe that KO from across the stage, my goodness. Yeah, Use is up an entire stock at this point, lands with the Sido, and he continues to be the one that is controlling the neutral. MegD, how do you change the way that you approach? When Use has orb on hand, he catches MegD falling on him with all these end lights. When he's falling in front of him, he catches him with all these side lights. MegD can't land on him, Polly.
Getting a couple of nairs as MegD is trying to stay above him. Sidelights are coming out, pushing him away just a little bit. And Light coming out, patrolling the side of the stage. Another one. I can smell the dare. Use loves going for them. MegD is so afraid of it, but he's still able to get back up. Sidelights here. Use is beating MegD at his own game right now, and the time is running out. Use is getting closer and closer to finding this knockout.
Now this orb is quite the defense mechanism from Use, finishing it off there with that NSIG as well, going up at a 2-0 stock, 2-0 game lead with a 2-0 in that second game as well. So what's happening here? Use, he's spacing MegD out. MegD is not able to land on him. He's catching all of his landings with both Scythe and Orb. Orb was the one that was catching so many landings with Sidelight and Enlight as well. And then when it comes to offstage edge guards, MegD has not been able to get any of Val's Sword side six, which, I mean, it's quick, it can be really unexpected, but Use is expecting the unexpected.
I mean, the thing is, you know, MegD's playstyle, being quite floaty, waiting for the opponent to attack, playing with a lot of movement especially, it's a very simple playstyle with a very simple solution, which is you need to catch the landings and you need to stop them right in their tracks. The reason why it works is because, mechanically speaking, that's nearly impossible, especially whenever you have the movement and spacing of MegD. He's amazing at doing this. He is the best, if not one of the best, at doing this. And Use appears to be one of the only people that has the mechanical skill to be able to stop this.
He's playing his own game a little bit better, it feels like. He does not seem threatened, he does not seem, you know, anxious to approach, especially because Use was the one that came up in a lead that game around. MegD's dash jumping like that, I understand why people said, like, hey, what are these dash jumps from NA when they dash jump over and over? I'm seeing it happen now, and I'm seeing it get punished.
I like this from MegD. Swapping over to the orb. You beat me at my own game. I'll swap over to the orb and beat you at your own game too. I don't need that sword. And then, I mean, to be fair, the sword, from MegD as well, it wasn't doing that much work. The gauntlets were looking very, very solid. And so swapping over for an orb, I'll say it time and time again this weekend, it looks like orb is probably going to be higher up on a lot of people's tier lists.
It's good, it's consistent, it's solid, it's nice and disjointed. And right now, MegD and Use, they're fighting for the next hit. Side light recovery, landing back down, looking for that end light, not going to be successful. Gets that side light, looking to catch a landing, missing that end light as well. This is a very patient game for both of these players. MegD has stopped dodging down after getting hit by Scythe end light. Okay, he dodges out that time. Use, this is where you do end light recovery. This is where it hits.
Side signature comes out. MegD is going to be able to space around that, going for a high recovery that time around, waiting for that weapon spawn, trying to go for an end light. Use is not able to get a punish in though. Has an orb over themselves now though.
Okay, dashing in there with the side light. The side light comes out once again. MegD just gets put off stage. Use has not been able to close. MegD wanted to go for a bit of a cheeky GC and Sig there. It did not connect, but it at least gave him the opening to get back onto the stage.
Able to pick up that Nair. Still anyone's first stock at this point. Sair comes out almost enough. MegD is going to be able to come back to the stage from that. Gonna have to try and get over the ledge as well, though. I can smell the N-Sig from a mile away, but Use didn't go for it. MegD spacing around it quite well. It's going to be an N-Sig from MegD, and he's picked up a stock lead in the beginning now, which he did in the first game.
Oiban Hannah, I'm wondering if this Petri switch is paying off, and it already is, but let's see how Use is just able to adapt at this point. Side light puts him off stage. He's used up a recovery. Yep, gosh, Scythe recovery. It's so active. It is out there. It is sent you at such a nasty angle. It is so difficult to avoid.
At the two-part angle as well, right, that the recovery has. Very, very dangerous off stage indeed. And Use has been making amazing use of it so far. MegD able to get that landing, picking up an end light. Wanted to get that edge guard. I think if he did get that Nair, it would have been the dodge call out as well. Would have been super massive for MegD, but unfortunately it won't be connecting. That is a dodge expended from Use. He gets the Nair as well. Very large offstage commitment, and that's actually going to be the stock. MegD has secured himself a much more comfortable lead.
That is the magic of Gauntlet. That's what Gauntlet can do to you off stage sometimes, and MegD now has that stock lead. So let's see how Use is able to play from what looks like a pretty significant deficit. He is left weaponless. He eats that end light. He picks up a scythe, looking for the neutral call out. MegD has hit so many end lights. Side light recovery, landing back down, resetting. Oh my gosh, this is so much damage.
By far the biggest lead that MegD has had over Use this entire set so far, and he is keeping it pushing. This is the thing, you can't go even against MegD. This is what he's so good at. If you're one stock behind, it's as if you were 5 stocks behind when you're against this man.
Use's weapon gets knocked off, now has to go up against this orb. He eats the N-Sig, and MegD has put himself back into the game. This weapon switch was phenomenal. He was denying Use, and I love the way that he mixed up a lot of his dodge options, especially out of Scythe and Light. He made sure that Use was not getting away with some of the follow-ups from before, and as a result, Use struggled to match MegD in damage output that game.
I feel like the strangest and almost coolest part of that game is how MegD swapped away the orb and still did almost all of his work on the gauntlets. 374 damage on the gauntlets compared to 55 on the orb. He picked that orb, maybe, I guess, just to have another weapon to throw away. I'm not sure.
And he never needed it. It was just a nice little backup, just in case.
Exactly, just in case you might need it. But then again, this orb still has time to shine. But I think we all understand now which weapon MegD prefers in this matchup.
Scythe is one of those weapons that, hey, if you're hitting it, great. If you're not, then it kind of feels like the worst weapon in the game. And I'm kind of seeing that happen now with Use. I'm seeing end lights not lead into anything. I'm seeing side lights not lead into anything. And as a result, definitely struggling to make up some of that consistent damage that MegD has by comparison.
For sure. I mean, MegD has been proven almost immune to Use's Scythe gameplay so far. As every single time that Use is trying to go for a read, we see MegD going for, okay, Use already going down. The Sair off stage is going to be it.
That's such a nasty angle too. MegD once again has another lead. I mean,
the Nairs into the read as well. He gets so much damage off of this. Almost a full stock lead yet again.
Oh my gosh, that's another one. That's a sideline recovery. MegD gonna be looking for the neutral. Okay, what? Oh, okay, I guess that hit. another red light connects on behalf of Yus here. Jumping around, side light sider, putting MegD off stage. How do you get this edge guard? Yus playing nice and patient. Neutral looking to scout out that dodge, puts himself off stage. MegD whiffs and light, goes the wrong direction, and Yus has the best possible with punish. He needed to turn around.
Very, very optimal with punish coming out from Yus there. Getting the stock there as well as MegD is trying to now get a stock of his own. He did build up a very, very significant stock lead, and there it comes! He's able to get the knockout fairly quickly. The reads, I mean, MegD has figured something out. Some form of pattern. I'm not seeing it. Are you, Dara?
How many sidelight recoveries has he hit already? And where is Yus's dodge? Those are the questions that I have at the moment.
He keeps taking that dodge. I mean, Yus uses one dodge in neutral, and MegD is somehow able to sneak in there in time and pick up a gauntlet nair.
I don't know how, but guess what? He is able to make it work for him, and because look at this amazing lead that he's built up for himself. Yeah, I feel like the switch off was amazing. He is also the real switch that MegD did. He changed up his defensive options. Yus is opting to play a little bit more on the orb now, but even now, he is struggling to land against MegD.
Able to pick up an endlight, trying to go for the follow-up there as well, but Yus is not going to be falling for that one, keeping his escape options as random as possible, as MegD's reads are getting more and more dangerous so far. Very, very patient game. They're trying to go evenly here, but Yus is not even able to do that so far.
Sidelight Sider finally catching that whip downer. Anytime you see Gauntlet whip downer, you're like, oh, thank God, that is my opening. Thank you for giving me this gift.
That's their one moment to try and get some damage. Yus now right below MegD, able to get a landing. Sidelight Sair on the punish, sticking to the orb, and the N-Sig is going to do the job to finish the stock off.
Nice, quick, and disjointed, and I love the fact that Yus is sticking it out with the orb. This is elimination side. This could be MegD's final game if Yus makes this comeback. Yus wants it. Yus is hungry for it. Let's see if it happens.
It's going to be so hard. MegD is performing so incredibly well right now, and as we mentioned, I mean, he's in Yus's head at this point. He's got so many other dodges figured out. Yus knows he needs to be careful. Dodge up and in. Almost got a read off of that. Sidelight N-Sig is going to be applying some chip damage, though. Yus is kind of catching up.
He's catching up, he's getting that end light, he's backing off a little bit. MegD gonna be stuck in the corner for just a second, looking to gently reset neutral here. Dash jumping in, out. When is he gonna approach? He whiffs the jump sider, and as a result just eats a quick little punish, but nothing substantial. The game is even, he eats a sider, he is off stage.
There's no way. Yus has been slowly but surely creeping up further and further at this point. I mean, MegD's approaching knockout rate, sidelight N-Sig. That's it. MegD is finished 7th in the tournament, and Yus is advancing through the bracket. What a comeback. I said it's barely possible to get a comeback against MegD, but Yus proved it possible.
He proved it possible. He proved us wrong. He made an incredible comeback in that last game. And I have one question. What's the dodge window on sidelight?